Okay. Let's see. Alright, it is May 1st. The time is 10:37. Special Agent Broyhill conducting an interview with Krystal Ortiz at the Southern Piedmont District Office. Ms. Ortiz, what is your middle name again?
Nicole. Excuse me.
Oh, you're fine. And what was your date of birth?
October 16, 1990.
Good deal. And what's a good address for you now?
1565. Quail Woods, two separate words. Quail, Q-U-A-I-L.
Q-U-A-I-L.
I-L. Woods Road.
Okay.
Gastonia, North Carolina. 28054.
280. Oh, you're fine. And what about a good phone number?
704-949-6133.
6133?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are you working anywhere?
Yes, I work for Truist Bank.
Good deal. So just want to go back over everything related, kind of the timeline of events and how everything went down with, Juan and Officer Riley. And before all that, I understand like y'all had been in contact since the first time that there was the domestic call at y'all's house, and that you guys had stayed in contact since then.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of like just go over how much contact would you say that you and Officer Riley had after that first domestic call?
So at first it wasn't really much contact. The initial contact was with him getting my laptop back from Juan's brother the night of the incident. After that, Riley stopped by my house with one of his workers one night, and he knocked on my door to come check up on me and the kids. Then I think about a few days after that, I text saying, "Thank you for stopping by, we're okay," or whatever, or something of the sort. I appreciate it. And then after a while, it stopped, and then it came back up. I wouldn't say it was like right before the incident. I think it was we spoke more, but it wasn't much. It started with him trying to give me information on, I think it's called Hope United, the domestic violence stuff.
Okay.
Hope United, I think is what it is. And talking about like his situation with his kid's mother and his wife, and him being a domestic violence victim.
Okay.
So it
about
was
Hope United, you said?
Yeah, I think that's what, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
So it was pretty much that. Then we spoke about like the situation with me and Juan, and he pretty much was just kind of comparing, I guess, like my situation and saying that he was a victim of domestic violence himself. And then every so often it seemed like we became, "How you doing? How's your day going?" kind of thing. And then we'll talk about like his wife or his kids and stuff like that, and just the situations overall.
Is this mostly like text message?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were probably a few phone calls in between. I wouldn't say more than a handful.
So then kind of started talking more, you said like just day to day, like how are you doing, like talking about what was going on, not specifically about the incidents, but just in general, like,
Yeah.
Asking how you were and how your day was going.
Yeah, like there was a weekend I think him and his family went up to the mountains, and he was like talking about that and stuff like that. And it was just like little things, trying to remember exactly what the conversation consisted of.
Okay.
But it was pretty much things like that, and he would say, that I was like in a controlling relationship.
Okay. So he was saying that he was saying that the relationship you had with Mom was like it was controlling.
Yeah. And then almost made it seem like if he was there as in some sort of trying to be like support for me.
Okay.
Like he made a comment in one of the messages, that he didn't want to cause any drama between our personal lives or anything like that. You know, with his home life and my home life.
He didn't want to start drama.
Like he didn't want it to. I'm trying to remember. It's something in the sort of like with us talking. He didn't want it to get to a point where it'll cause some, you know, issues in our homes, like issues with me and my home, issues with him and his home.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Fine.
And then we had spoke around Christmas time, and I think like a day or two before New Year's Eve.
So, you know, just to try to touch on that, so he made a comment about, you know, he's saying that, you know, Juan was controlling over you, that, you know, it's kind of a controlling relationship, and that also you made a comment about that he didn't want to cause drama for you and Juan, or drama for him and his wife. Was there anything about how he was kind of talking that made you think that he was, you know, that the type of messages that would cause drama, like if his wife found out about them, like, or that was it your opinion that his wife was aware he was in contact with you?
So I really don't know, cause excuse me, how it would have, I don't know, maybe his wife would have had an issue with him communicating with it or whatever, but to me there wasn't really much communication in the sort of it being something. Like he spoke about like how he had an issue with his wife previously and they were
like
working it out.
His current wife.
Yeah,
like
but he wasn't making it seem like it at one point, like if there was like a point of it where they were like dealing with stuff and going through, trying to make it work kind of thing.
Okay.
And then whatever I was going through at home.
Was it your opinion that any of it was maybe, you know, him, was it like suggestive that he was coming on to you?
At one point, it was like, after everything and talking with people just about it, and, you know, everybody just trying to say, like, you know, if he was trying to take advantage of my vulnerability, of my state of mind, or whatever was going on. But to me, it was more so like, it was somebody who knew my situation, and he was an officer, and I kind of felt like I was confiding in him, which sounds stupid, but
just because you choose to be friendly with somebody or they're being friendly doesn't, like, because you don't know their intention. But so, like, in your opinion, like, looking back on it, you think that he was, you know, was just talking to you about it, that he, or I was kind of confused by that part.
I don't think he was trying to, during this conversation, never came across as him trying to hit on me or anything of this thing. It was, to me, like a new friendship beginning in a way of somebody, again, just because he said he knew what I was going through because he'd been through it, so.
Yeah. Okay. So, y'all are talking more and more, you know, it's still mostly text message, you know, then night of, you know, New Year's Eve, I assume he messages you again.
Yeah, so New Year's Eve he told me Happy New Year's, and then I just said Happy New Year's. And then he had text like, was everything okay? Like, was everything okay? Is everything okay? So then I actually called and we started talking, and I was like, yeah, everything is good, you know, we're just in the house, chilling, you know. I had a few drinks and we were just relaxing and watching movies. And then I hung up the phone, and then that's when Juan came and saw that I had just gotten off the phone, and everything just kind of spiraled from there.
Best that you can. Did you think like the phone call would be before or after midnight?
It was after.
Okay.
Because the ball had already dropped. We had already. Juan and I had just got off the phone with all our family and stuff like that. His brother's dog peed on the floor, so he was like, we gotta take him back. So that was what we were doing. It was like after the ball dropped and stuff, we were taking his dog back home.
So y'all had
His brother's dog.
Kelvin's dog? Okay.
We were dog sitting for 3 of them, but we had brought one of them home.
Okay. So it's after midnight. Y'all are talking before you take the dog back or after?
So I think the initial text of Happy New Year was before we took the dog, but the phone call was after.
Okay.
While we were still at Kelvin's house.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And y'all took the dog back after midnight because the dog peed on the floor, and y'all were like,
yeah, he said, I'm not dealing with it tonight.
okay. Okay. And so you were talking to him while y'all were at Calvin's house.
Yeah, I was outside and Ron was taking the dogs for a walk before we left.
Okay. And so, at no point during that call was there anything, like there was no issues going on with Juan, there was no arguments or fights, like everything was fine, and you're like, yeah, we've just been hanging out, chilling, everything's okay.
Yeah, and he was just saying he was at home chilling with, hanging out with his kids and stuff like that, and that was it.
So, Juan sees that you, were getting off the phone, and he
takes the phone from me.
Okay.
And then he starts going through it. And it took him a while. He kept just scrolling through it and going back and forth. And he seen, like, Riley was my most recent contact there. And it was listed as Officer Riley, too. So he seen that contact listed there and just kept on scrolling through. And then eventually just ended up calling him.
So he was scrolling through like the text messages?
He looked to see if there was any text messages. He looked at the call log, and then he just kept looking, going back and forth through the call logs, going up and down the call logs.
So were there text messages? Like, did you delete the text?
They were deleted,
okay.
But they were still in the phone, in the trash.
Okay, so like your texts with Riley, were they deleted? Like, did you delete them as they were occurring? Or
yeah.
Okay. So y'all would text and you would immediately just...
Well, depending, yeah. So after the conversation would be done, I'll go ahead and immediately delete it. Or like if we were like texting back and forth, I'll wait and then I'll delete them.
Okay. Is that because you assumed Juan would be upset if he saw, like, that you were talking to Riley?
And seeing just overall, speaking about what was going on in our home life and stuff like that. He wasn't really big on people knowing, personal life.
Okay, so he was going through the, the log, the call log. Okay, and so he ends up calling Riley. And y'all are still at Kelvin's house at this point.
Mhm.
You know, was he